we'd had this discussion earlier, and Dan Campbell still has not listened to John Jansen, not listened to a lot of people around here, and it doesn't appear that they're going to see any starters on Friday night against the Carolina Panthers. And I'll ask the question again: is this a mistake?
I think it is. And I know the argument is, okay, they had these joint practices. They had the very intense practice ones-on-ones this week. But I do believe there is still some value of knocking the rust off, even if it's for a series. You're not going out there and necessarily going to evaluate one series in terms of how many pluses versus how many minuses do you have as an individual, but you get a chance to go out there and go through the entire process of this is how I'm going to prepare for a game, knowing that I'm going to be out on the field. It's not a regular season game. It's a preseason game, but you get to the stadium, you prepare like you're going to be playing. And you can say you're going to do all of that stuff and still not play, but it's a different mindset that you can't replicate going to, down in Carolina, going to the stadium, getting there, getting your ankles taped, going through the warm-ups, all of those different things, and then going out on the field and going through the process of communicating in the huddle, at the line of scrimmage, and even if it's just for one series. Hopefully it's more than just a 3 and out, but knocking the rust off so that the first time that you don't take the field is at Arrowhead. That's what really has me hung up, is the fact that they're going to be doing this for the very first time in one of the most intimidating and toughest places and venues to do it in.
I understand that, but I mean...
And on top of that, it's... 2 years ago, would they start? 1-10? Last year it was 1-6?
Correct.
Like, they've been notorious for starting slow.
Yeah, but even if they would play the amount of minutes or whatever that you would want, most people, I mean, you think it's going to be the other way, if I remember correctly. You thought they'd win in Kansas City and lose to Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay, but most people believe they're still going to lose no matter what. So
you're just chucking that up as a loss?
No, I'm not chucking it up as a loss, but I'm saying that it's not going to make that much of a difference in this game because, okay, so let's say Goff plays a series or two. You really think that's going to carry over 2 weeks? It's going to make that much of a difference?
I do think the experience matters. I really do. And maybe it's just the old school me. And I very well could be. I felt better after going out there and, again, going through the entire process, playing a few snaps, playing a few series, going into the regular season than I did if there was no, and I never really went through that. There was a couple of times where I didn't get as many reps as I really wanted. Mm-hmm. But because, hey, the starting unit wasn't going to be out there, they said, hey, we want everybody to sit for the second quarter. I just felt better when I got to a certain point myself. And maybe I'm just looking at this, in terms of how I would handle it and not in, hey, everything evolves, everything changes. You got 17 games, you got 3 preseason, you have these inter-squad scrimmages. We did have some inter-squad scrimmages when I played. I just am hung up on, I don't want the first time that you take the field to be at Arrowhead.
So if they were playing at home?
I would probably say the same thing. I would be more comfortable with it, but I would still be saying, I want this team, because of the potential and the hope and the excitement that we have, I want them to do everything that they possibly can to hit the ground running.
See, look, I'm because you played and I did, and I come off not like an idiot, but not knowing, I just don't see it's going to make that much of a difference, especially in that game and in that environment. The environment's going to be unbelievable anyway. I mean, You're going to have to sit there and watch the Super Bowl banner go up, and you're going to try to replicate that too. I mean,
you can't replicate everything. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's not at all like it's going to be an Arrowhead. Carolina for a preseason game, it's not going to be the same environment, right? But it's a different environment than you have at Allen Park.
True, but they might actually be playing against some better people in Allen Park than they are against Carolina.
So be it.
They might be. Carolina kicked their ass last year, so